Do you just think Marcus Freeman is the better guy for that job than if Brian Kelly would have stayed? Because I don't know if they would have had the success if Brian would have stayed there.
Well, let me say this about Brian Kelly is Brian Kelly is a good offensive-minded coach. He knows what it takes to have a successful offense. And I think when you're talking about a head coach of any program, and you can look across the board at all the great head coaches, they not only understand the X's and O's of the game, but they also understand how to connect with their players. They understand how to get the most out of their players and how to really push them to become the best version of themselves. And I see that in Coach Freeman. I see that in Coach Dan Campbell. I had the great opportunity to be with him in New Orleans when he was the tight ends coach, interim head coach. And just to be around him, there's certain characteristics and certain feelings and certain culture that is built in the building when you have somebody like a Coach Marcus Freeman and a Dan Campbell, that you just really buy into them, I'm a firm believer that anybody can go up on a chalkboard and draw X's and O's on the board. It takes a very special leader to turn those X's and O's into actual plays that can become highlights and lead you to a championship. And so that's why I've been such a believer in Coach Freeman since the beginning. Is he not only understands the game from an X's and O's standpoint, but he played the game at a high level. And he has those leadership characteristics where you want to follow that guy wherever he goes, and he'll stand up for you. And I think that's the biggest difference with Coach Freeman compared to Coach Kelly.